All right. So if you watch the video about the initial setup of how you need to verify your identity before you start to do outbound calls, of course, you have to hit the enable button. If you see that in the background, you would have hit this. It'll take you through a series of um, things where you need to upload like your passport or ID, driver's license, that kind of thing to identify yourself. It'll just this is just really a run through of what happens before you get to the screen here. Um, it will have you take a picture of yourself, make sure that you know your picture matches the ID that you uploaded. Once you've completed those steps, you should have a screen that looks like this. Now it says, "Congratulations, you're done." You're gonna click done. Okay. Now, so from here, you will be able to use the outbound calls. All right. It will take you through the consent requirements here. And then this is just me showing you how this looks, how this runs through. All right. So now this is part two of the outbound call setup. So now it's saying that when you collect consent from your customer to be contacted, your consent language should include the following elements. If you would like to reach out to your customers via calling, you need to have a clear statement that the user agrees to receive both text messages and phone calls, a disclosure that calls may be automated, pre-recorded, or use an AI voice. Then we have a statement that the user agrees to receive marketing communications from your business and information on how the user can opt out of future messages. All right. So to enable voice AI outbound calling, your data collection channels must include consent language that meets the requirements above. Okay. So here we are at step one. Okay. This is where you can put in some consent language here, and we can, sorry, I didn't mean to click that, but you can put that information here. Just make sure that everything matches um, the requirements that are 1 through 4 from the beginning. Okay. So let's say, and if you can't think of anything on the spot, you can always, go to ChatGPT and put that information in. So I'm going to grab some information in the line for us to use and then put that in the information here. Okay, so I plugged in some information here, my excerpt here. This one just says, by providing your phone number, you expressly consent to receive phone calls and text messages from ABC Company. That should be where your company name will go, including communications that may be sent using an automated dialing system, pre-recorded voice, or AI generated voice technology. These communications may include marketing promotion, service notifications, appointment reminders, and other information related to our products or services. You may opt out at any time by replying stop to any text message. Standard message and data rates may apply. Okay, so we've hit all 4 of these requirements. What we're going to do now, we can hit check ooh, compatibility. All right, so the compatibility check is passed. It turns green. If it doesn't, it'll turn red. And then you can make the necessary changes to make sure that you are not leaving out any of the requirements at the top. All right, so choose applicable products. All right, so we're going to click on the drop down here. We have an automatic consent application. This is to apply the consent language from step 1, which is what we did here, automatically to the selected products down below. New contacts collected through these products will inherit this consent. We also have a manual one here as well too. This one says you will update consent language manually in each channel asset. Only updated assets will be ready for collecting consent for outbound calling. So the option for automatic consent application, we have forms. So this will go through all of the forms um, that are in your forms tab. And then we have surveys. If you have any surveys that you've made, you'll see the list of all of them here. Any appointments that you have, any chat widgets that you created, all of these sections here. If you want this to go on all of them, you just click on the check mark here. Um, so this also lets you know that these updates will apply to all new contacts you collect through these sources. They will not retroactively change the consent status for contacts already on your list. So pretty much just any contacts that from now going forward, um, they'll see this information. Anybody that you've already ran through the system, they won't see that. All right, so important note here, these requirements reflect common legal standards, but laws vary by jurisdiction. You are responsible for ensuring your consent language complies with all applicable laws. We recommend reviewing your language with qualified legal counsel. Okay, so just that's just a note to let you know that information. So if you want this to go on any of your forms, let's say if I just want this to go on a select few, um, I can put this on my forms here, and then I can do an update consent as well too. Now, if you have some that's on here already, these that say check consent, you'll see what's already on there already to see if you need to even add it at all. Some of these might be okay, and then some of these you might want to just add this information to, but not all forms you may want this information on, but it's not bad to have just in case. So it'll update the consent on these items. You can do consent. Now, the manual one here, it'll let you just go ahead and just add it on your own. Um, and then here for the Facebook forms, um, so the note here just says no eligible asset is configured to collect or verify consent for this product. Set one up to get started. So there isn't one, that note just lets you know there isn't one already created for Facebook forms. So if you want to do that, you can do that here. Other than that, if you want to manually add that, you can do that. All right. So let's say I just go ahead and update. Actually, I don't want to do all these forms. I'm just going to do one. So let's update it on form one. And then it'll add that verbiage that we did earlier. It'll add it to that particular form. All right. So currently updating up to 95 assets. That's what was on my list. There could be more. So waiting on that update. Okay, let's see. This one's taking a little bit more time than the other one we did. All right, here we go. All right, so now we got 51% of our products are ready for outbound call-in. All right, so now you'll see this. So now we'll have, now in order to be able to start your outbound calling, you have to create a workflow in order for it to work properly. So that'll be in the next video here. But this was part two of how to set up and enable the outbound calling. And then part three is where now you'll have the workflow that you also have to create in order to officially begin. All right.